Good morning. I have my friend here with me. Welcome to a random daily vlog. You want to go for a bushwalk? Bushwalk? Okay, go sit. We're gonna go for our usual Wednesday morning bushwalk. It's gonna be amazing. The weather is absolutely stunning. The downfall is I have hay fever. See, my nose is red and I had a big hay fever reaction inflammation thing on a Monday. Tuesday subsided a little bit, and then I woke up this morning and not the best. I did take my hay fever tablets, but sometimes it just doesn't help. So I'm gonna shove some tissues up my nose and we're gonna go for a walk/run because I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm still recovering, but I'm trying to slowly bring myself back into my fitness regime. And let's have a wholesome day. I do have a couple of clients in the afternoon, and then I do have 2 classes in the evening. So let's go, friends. Let's spend some day together. Look how beautiful it is this morning. One of my other vlogs you guys seen came here and it was a little bit cloudy and forecasted, but today it's so beautiful, so sunny. Got fresh breeze. I think we're having like 23 degrees today, and it's absolutely stunning. The river is just running there, so we are going to walk that way all the way down to the river and have ourselves an amazing day. So many spider webs. Alright, change of plans. We got halfway through our usual trail. And my dog stopped guard because there was 2 cars in the bush by the river. Whew. It's really hard to breathe when you have hay fever. Hold on. Let me catch my breath and I'll come back. I caught my breath a little bit, but it's hard because we gotta go up the hill the whole time. So I'm just gonna stop here and update you quickly. Yeah, so the 2 cars, they looked a little bit sketchy. And I wasn't sure if they had a dog with them or not. So we just turned around. And we're gonna go to the other side, to a different trail. I do love that trail as well. It's a little bit more open, but there's not as many drinking spots for my dog to have a little bit more hydration. But we're not going to spend too long today because I do have some things to do. I'm going to try and set up my tent, check for holes, check for any faults or anything like that before I have to go to work. And yeah, so when you go, ladies, bushwalking and running, don't risk it. Because you just don't know these days. Just turn around and go back. Okay? Tip of the day. Alright, but we're back at the top where we started. And we're just going to go, instead of the right, we're going to go to the left. Come, Coco. We're going to go this way. Let's go. I've got another update for you. We actually literally have to switch my phone off. I had to turn around and go back to my car because there was someone else walking their dog and it wasn't on the leash, and he politely asked me to either like step off the trail or go back because the leash broke and the dog is not friendly. So he was freaking out a little bit, but I said that's no problem. So I just put my dog back in my car, waited for them to have some distance, and then we went back. But the plus side is he told me, because he's a local, walking a few trails here a couple of times a week, and he actually told me about one of the other trails that I've seen, but I haven't walked it yet. And he said that that one's really good. It's about 8k walk, but it's nice and open, awesome for the dogs. It's by the power lines, and apparently the view is pretty good, good exercise because it's quite hilly. And he says there's hardly anyone there. Sometimes locals come out, but not really. So maybe we'll do that another day where I have a bit more time and explore and take a trip, like a day trip, and maybe I'll take you guys with me. That's it for now. So far it looks like nobody's around. I'm not sure if you can see, but the river is just there. So we're pretty high up the top of the hill at this moment. And it's still so beautiful. It's still beautiful. I like this trail. It's just once you hit the bottom, there's not much going on. It's kind of all the same, flat and wide. But I like my tracks between the bushes and the little trail where it's a little bit more of more of an intermediate kind of hike. I like that because then you get a bit of a workout, but then, you know, it doesn't feel like it because you're enjoying your walk. Got ready for work and I had an extra hour. I had my lunch and I was like, I don't want to go for a walk anymore. So I decided to stop off and give my car a quick deep clean. And usually I kind of, you know, vacuum and wash it once a week on a regular. But today I really felt like I needed to go into the little nooks and crannies. So I actually pulled out, like my change was all over here and like kids toys and stuff, so I actually pulled it out, cleaned it out, and put this one here so it's closed. And now I'm gonna go through my glove box, and yeah, I just have 1, 2, 3 books in here, some nuts, I've got some CDs and stuff, so I'm actually sort through that because I'm not liking it. The books are spare just in case I don't know what to read, and so I've got some smut, some drama, and some fantasy in here. It's continuation of the series that I'm reading, but I think I might check that at the back. Oh, keep it in here, I'm not sure. I think I'll put it at the back because I do want my area to be clean. My front console is actually nice and tidy. I only have the book, some forks and knives, and my little embroidery kit in here, and this is where I keep all my wipes and stuff like that for the car. So that one's already nice and organized, but I'm gonna do that and give it a good vacuum. Gonna polish up my leather as well, and then it should be good to go to work. I'm currently at work and I had to put toilet paper up my nose
because my allergies are not allowing me to breathe and live my life. So we're just gonna ignore this. But I'm having a little break. I have like 20 minutes before my next client comes, and I'm reading Margarita Nazarenko's the new rule book. And this woman is awesome. I love it. I love her. She's got such awesome examples of what it's like to be a woman and how to have better life. I know you probably can't even take me seriously with this, and I should probably delete it, but this is the reality of having hay fever. And those of you who get hay fever, you know, and I'm putting this out there, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a survivor of hay fever. It's another level.
We are walking again. Look at this beautiful river. I finished with my PT clients for the night. I have tissues up my nose because we are walking and there's pollen everywhere. So we don't want to make things worse. But I finished with my client, and my last client canceled because she was unwell. So I decided to attempt my own workout, and I did 15 minutes on the bike, just a little of a rhythm ride, did some hills, did some sprints, some intervals, and it was good. It went much better than before and much better than I thought. So 15 minutes, that is all I'm doing because I've done weights yesterday, and today is supposed to be my cardio day or HIIT day, but because I'm still not feeling 100%, we are taking it easy and gentle on ourselves because we don't want to get sick again. Because if you're still feeling like shit, you will fall back into the second episode of flu, and I don't like that episode. I don't want that episode. We've done over 10,000 steps already. We're gonna go and get some more steps because the weather is awesome. And before it gets too hot, we're gonna enjoy this walk. You guys, these flowers smell so amazing. They smell stunning, and they grow along the river, and they are everywhere. And if we can make fragrance like this, would be absolutely amazing. It make my eyes water. Oh my god. Oh my god. It make me sneeze. Look at this. Oh, I love them so much. Maybe when look, and there's like fields of them. They're everywhere. Look at that. They smell so good. They're like soft, sweet, but like not too much. When the allergy season is over, I'll be able to smell them, but they're not gonna be there anymore. But look at this river, flowers. How can you not love spring? The birds are singing, the birds are flying, mosquitoes are out. We got a quick 20-minute walk, and we got an additional 2,000 steps. That's all it takes.
If you want to slide the stars. Yeah, quick. Slide. Slide.
Cool.
You can dance.
3x3. was giving her cuddles, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay here while she goes and play Minecraft. We're on page 69. Yeah. And in this book, we're following Henry and Hallie or Haley. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna call her Haley for now. And can I just relate to this book any more than it has been so far? So this girl is not your typical cheerleader looking girl, and she loves books, and she's like awkward. She doesn't really have many friends, and her ex broke up with her. So and then this boy, a tall, dark, and handsome dude who appeared like all the girls just want him, and he appears to be this leader, and this, like, because he's a captain of this hockey team, right? And he is like, he can be himself within his role. So I feel like this is why they are clicking. So he's not really, I don't know how to say it without spoiling much, but does it say anything? I didn't even read the back, hey. Oh yeah, so he's struggling a little bit in college, and it looks like she's gonna be his tutor. I didn't know that. Well, this is why I don't like reading the back of the books. So far I'm enjoying it. It's so easy. That's exactly what I wanted. I actually went to Big W yesterday, and I was like, okay, school holidays started, and I want to read something nice and easy, something fluffy. And when you have your books on TBR, but sometimes you'll look at them and you're like, I've already looked at this cover for so long that I don't feel like reading it anymore. And I knew that something from Hannah Grace would bring my attention back. So far I'm enjoying the ride, and let's read. One of the parts of this book I forgot to mention, I loved, and I thought it was so funny. So she was giving him those cookies, right? And he's like, oh, these cookies taste so good. And she's like, yeah, that's my grandma's recipe. And she made me she was standing there and watching me and guiding me every step of the way to make the perfect recipe, because she didn't want to give out a shitty cookie and say that was grandma's recipe. So she needed to make sure she get it right, so that when she does give out the cookies, that they're like perfect and spot on. I was laughing so hard at that part. I don't know why. I was like, I totally know what the grandma means. Totally know the feels of it. It's true. Like, imagine you give somebody your recipe, right? And then they just messed it up. Like, they put a bit too much sugar or not enough sugar or something. Because I enjoy baking. And imagine they do that and they say, oh, that was my grandma's recipe. And you're like, oh, great cookies. So good. And they actually exactly not that way. So anyway, enough of the cookies. I love Henry already. It's so funny. He's like, she's like, oh, he didn't have, toiletries prepared even when we were together. And then Henry goes, well, bad hockey player, bad boyfriend, figures. And she's like, no, he wasn't bad boyfriend. He was just, and then Henry's like, I have no interest in hearing you list the redeeming qualities of your mediocre ex. Yes! Oh my god, that is so good. Can this book be any more relatable? He just gave her a bunch of daisies. That's my favorite flower. I love daisies. And he was like, I wasn't sure if you to give you sunflowers or daisies. I was like, I love sunflowers and daisies. Those are my favorite. I am like really in love with this book so far. Just at 80 pages, but I'm like, please don't spoil this for me because this is so cute.
actually gonna sit outside and enjoy the rest of the sunlight for today. It is so beautiful. Coco, go! My dog is trying to lick me, but I'm like, I just had a shower. All right, so let's talk about this lovely book. And I don't know what it is about this book that I am just loving it. It is so sweet. And the relationship is not, first of all, it's not insta-lovey, and it's not immature. There's no push and pull. The relationship development is very like characters and experience. So one is an experienced relationship, and another one was in a relationship, but she's inexperienced in physical relationships. So Henry, he's such a sweetheart. He's so patient with her, and she is not your typical like, oh, I'm so beautiful, and she is like down to earth, typical girl, first child that has first child problems. And there's a couple of things. I was actually reading this at the river, and I didn't have my marker with me, but I kind of dog-eared a few paragraphs in here. So the first one was, and I'm like, I can relate to this. So they're talking about how families are complicated, and that they like why she's been struggling to understand and how to say no and do what makes her happy. And she is sacrificing herself to please everyone, and that she has to hold everything together in her family. And she's like, I don't want to rock the boat, because then everything's gonna fall apart. And she's like, but because she might rock the boat, nobody will even notice if she falls overboard. And who is there to save her if she sinks? Like, that is deep. I'm like, the writing in this book is amazing. And I was speechless. I was like, this is exactly how I feel sometimes, to be honest, like in certain sense. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate, especially as mums. And which one was the other one? Doggy Eared, but I'm trying to find what I was looking at here. Oh, it was so cute. He's like, oh, you're like, you look so lazy, like a well-fed panda. And then he's like, what's wrong? He's like, well, you clearly didn't give me enough bamboo. That's so funny. And then it goes from Henry's side, hey, he's so overwhelmed being a captain, and, and he's like, oh, everybody has a problem, and I have to come to him. And, yeah, he's struggling in his way. So it's funny because it's showing that both characters are so different, that they still have their own lives and they have their own struggles. And you think like, this guy is the captain of the team and he's got it all and he had all his girls, but it was his persona. It's not actually who he is. Oh, the sun is like really shiny. And that he actually doesn't want that attention and that responsibility. And, the world's been made up that if you've got that, you should be grateful and you should be liking it. Like, it's wrong not to like being a leader, being in charge. And he's like, that's not me. So I am sitting at page 259, so I've got about 150 pages to go, and I'm just cruising along. I'm not trying to rush it. I actually really enjoy this, and I think It's gonna be a 5-star. I can relate to this book on so many levels. I love the relationship, how it's developing. And I mean, we all knew you're gonna try and like date each other to give her the experience, and you're not gonna fall in love. Like, that's just clearly not gonna happen. But another thing is that she gave herself a promise that, oh, I'm gonna do things for myself, and now that she's falling for the guy, it's like she's feeling like she's losing herself, or like failing at her goals, or like being on her own and doing things that make her happy. And I'm like, I can totally relate to this as well. Like, you know, how many times you like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then the person comes into your life and you're like like you still want to do it, but you have all these feelings that you didn't plan for. I mean, we've all been there, one or the other, and I feel like this book comes from author's experience or something. Like, this is not just made up story, this is real stuff. This is reality right here. All right, I'm gonna keep reading and I'll update you later. I think I'm gonna cry. I was literally sitting there thinking, oh, I should really record myself reading, and I wish I did. I'm reading the chapter and she was going through a little bit of a meltdown, and she was like, I gotta check up on this, and I gotta do this, I gotta bake this, and the book club thing, and this and that and this and that. And it was literally on repeat, and it was like freaking 20 sentences of non-stop things that she has to do. And I'm like, that is totally me. Like, this is my brain. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and she's like, I just feel like the boat is rocking. So the thing that I told you about the boat before, right? So then it goes, Henry's like, so Jaden claims he won every science fair, and and he's like, and then I called your friend to check up, and like, so he's going on all these things that he's done to help her out, like checking up on people. Somebody's gonna pick up the grocery list, somebody else doing something, and she's like telling herself, I'm not gonna cry, I will cry. And then he's like, why you look at me weird? And she's like, because you stopped the boat from rocking. And that hits so deep. He did that for her. Like, oh my God. It's a good thing, Mama. So sweet. Mama, what are you doing? Okay, no, start again. You guys, I had to sit and talk about this book. 5-star. 5-star. I did not expect to like it so much, and my eyes are puffy because I cried. And it's so sweet. And usually these books are for like college romances, and there's so much smut, and there's so much miscommunication. This book did not have that, thank God. I was reluctant to read it, but I'm like, the cover's cute, and I was hooked from page 1. I was hooked. I don't know what kind of pill they put in, what they put in this book, but
I love the couple. I love that they're both growing, they're both learning, they're respectful to each other. I love that the chick has a very much anxious attachment and the guy is helping her work through it rather than just running away and them having this full miscommunication. They actually like jokingly getting themselves through while slowly falling in love from just being friends first. I love how Haley is developing as a person. She has created a sisterhood, and that's the part that I love, where they had a little friction towards the end of the book. And by having her friends, because she didn't have any friends before, but having this girl group that helped her get through it and completed the project. And one of the things she said is she didn't realize, sorry guys, I have hay fever, so I just want to sneeze. She didn't realize she didn't realize how much she actually needed that girl group. And I'm like, that sisterhood, I'm like, I can totally relate. Like, excuse me, like you think you're okay, and then, you know, in tough times your girls come through and they're so supportive, and I love that. I have book 2, The Wildfire, which I haven't read yet, but I will. And as Icebreaker, I read that and I'm like, it's okay. And you know, the hot private part was very discreet, and I like that, because sometimes when they're trying to create a romantic book, the smut just doesn't fit, and I felt like that's what it was in Icebreaker. It was just unnecessary. Whereas with this one, it was very low. It was very, discreet compared to other books that she wrote. And I haven't read a sweet romance book like this in a long time. Probably last year I read that. So I can relate to this book on so many levels. I didn't have my highlighter, so I actually doggy-eared a lot of things, and I will one day reread this, and I'm actually going to annotate it. I'm going to highlight a few things, and okay. I think there's too much dust in here, so I'm just going to complete the video, and I'm going to get out of here because my nose is not liking this. Oh my god! Yeah, and then there's this thing that he did for her. I cried, and yes, my kids recorded me because I was just like, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. I just couldn't get over it. I was like to do things like that and like sacrifice your time for someone you love, knowing that that's actually gonna make them happy, and you didn't have to like go out of your way with certain things. You just literally just had to put in the time to do that. And I feel like time is the most important thing you can give to a person. So yeah, I loved it. Anyways, thanks for joining me for this vlog. I'm gonna finish it off here because I can't breathe and I need to go take my antihistamines. Thanks so much again, and I will see you next time.